Welcome to the Kent Lapp Podcast.
So this is something that I'm interested in and never quite understood. So it makes sense that because as it turns out, some bourbons are made at the same place. They just have different labels on them, right? That's a thing.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not surprising that you would go to a distiller and forgive my ignorance here. A distillery is basically the people that actually make it. Is that right?
That's
okay.
correct.
So you go to a distiller and say, here's my recipe or here's the whiskey that I want made. Would you be interested in making it for me? A lot of them said no, but here's some whiskey blends maybe that you could stick your label on and call it guidance. We don't need to tell anyone that we created it.
Right.
You're going to white label it and you're going to sell it.
Yep.
So they'll do that all day because it's no harm, no foul. If they sell a bunch, fantastic. And if they don't sell that much, they didn't have to go create a new recipe. Okay.
Yep.
So, but you wanted this. You wanted guidance, and somehow you had created.
Well, no.
This
So that's a very good question. So what happens is you start with the base that they have.
Okay.
Okay.
So you go to distiller in Iowa and start tasting some stuff.
I didn't go there first. They sent me a bunch of samples of stuff.
Okay.
And then you start the R&D process. Like, okay, I like this from this. I like this from that. I like this from this.
Interesting.
And then you work on it, you work on it, you work on it until you find what you want. But most of the time that process can get expensive.
I see.
If you don't have somebody that's working with you, you go through 6 or 7, because they have to blend it. They have to add more juice. I mean, they have to do a whole bunch of stuff to that.
Yes. And time. If you say, let's say they sent you some samples and you tried, how many samples? Half a dozen would you try when they send these samples to you?
Yeah.
Try half a dozen samples and you say, here's what I like and here's what I don't like. Okay, go ahead and mix that up. Well, do they mix that up and just send you new samples, or do they mix it up, put it in a barrel, age it a little bit, and then send you samples?
They mix it up and send it to you.
Okay. So it's not like you got to wait.
Yeah, you don't have to wait a whole lot of time because they already have these things there. So they have rye. They have everything.
Okay. So they're sending you samples and you are directing them through the R&D process, and finally you land on what we have in our cup.
Yep.
How like from the time you started working with this distillery to the time you said, boys, I think we got it.
Close to a year.
Dang.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because you have to work on their schedule as well. Like, it didn't take a long time, but remember, they're processing all kinds of, they have all other clients, you know what I mean? They make all kinds of stuff. So, yeah.
I guess, and it's good for them too, because if the whole process takes a year and it's still something you want to do, that shows some commitment right there.
Yeah.
Some people be like, yeah, I want to start a whiskey, and then a few weeks in, they're bored. You know what I mean? And they're off to the next thing.
Yeah, and just getting the whiskey is the beginning. Like, that doesn't guarantee you anything. So we can go through this process, choose a bottle, choose a label. You got a product, it's in your hand. Well, now you got to find distribution, right?
Yeah. Which you recently did. You recently did, right? In Kentucky, you got a big deal.
Man, we signed that was awesome, because that's actually, we partnered with the first Black distributor.
I saw that.
In Kentucky.
That's very cool. How is that a new business of theirs?
Yeah. They launched this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's one of the fun things, man, is finding anybody that's willing to step out on their own. You have a lot of respect for them, right? Because especially in that market, like, that wasn't an easy thing.
Yeah.
And those guys are working hard, and to be able to be a part of something from the ground up.
Yes.
That's what Lippman and Jack, right?
Mm-hmm.
First distiller's license ever for Tennessee, I think, went to Lippman Brothers. And they were friends with Jack.
Interesting. Very cool. So this could be, what's their company name?
Legacy.
Okay.
What a name.
That's well, it's a cool name. So this could be something where you and Legacy sort of grow together.
Yep.
Like, you might actually, if guidance takes off, which it's gaining some popularity around town from what I can tell.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. If that takes off, just by nature of the popularity of guidance could help legacy.
Exactly.
Because people want guidance. How do they get it in Kentucky? They have to get it through legacy, right?
Yep.
Okay. So that's going to help them. And then as they do their thing, which is distribution, that helps you. Dude, that's exciting, man.
And that's I think a lot of people don't understand that. Like that's the collaboration part of what we do is so important. Like even what we're doing right now, you have a product. This is your product. This podcast is your product. This is my product. We're collaborating on something. So
yes.
After this, more people who know me will know you.
Exactly.
And more people who know you.
That's right. Me. Cheers to that, my man. Yeah. Absolutely.
Get it?
100%. The distribution is something that I didn't know anything about until the last couple of years. I had invested in a company called Eli Mason. Okay. Did you see him around town at all yet or no? It's a old fashioned cocktail mixer. It just comes and it's good. I know there's a lot of them out there, but Eli Mason is my favorite. I know I'm a little bit biased, but my friend Chris Thomas owns it, and he was looking for investors, and so I did for a period of time, and so there was a lot of discussions about distribution, a lot.
That's important
because it's super important, and I mean it can kind of make or break. It really can. So getting that deal with legacy is. Let's come back to why guidance, because I love. And another thing that I love is I'm just looking at the back of the bottle here. Let me just read it. Guidance is about profound choices and perfect expectations. Guidance is infinite wisdom that enables excellence. Lasting traditions and cultures around the world are forged because guidance is always present. Guidance has been crafted to be shared and enjoyed by all. But this idea of guidance as sort of like a spirit guide or like a wisdom force, I like that. That's a good angle. That's a very good angle. I like it a lot.
You see that compass on the front?
So that's obviously what the compass is about.
Yeah.
Okay, the guidance piece. But where'd you come up with that? I mean, and by the way, this dip and sip, it sort of works.
It's crazy, right?
It sort of does work.
Crazy. The Cubans knew what they were doing, man.
Did the Cubans do that?
This is what, it's the Bacardi family. Like they were in Cuba.
I mean, I've smoked a ton of cigars. I've just never dipped it into
the dip and sip is amazing, and you'll find yourself now wherever you are, and people are gonna look at you kind of crazy.
Yeah,
I'm like, what? Until they try it.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if it works with any cigar and any whiskey because this definitely works.
Yeah, if you find something that you like, it's like pairing wine and cheese. Mm-hmm. Who would have ever thought? Wine and cheese. Now we like, oh yeah, of course it goes. But